Hey guys, this is Steve again with another garden journal entry from Light Into My Path Outdoors. We'll take you around and show you how it's looking now. Talk about a few of the things we did earlier today, and then have a nice little tip for later to help keep weeds down. It's cheap, it's easy, and it's beneficial to the garden in another way too. This is May the 7th. It's about 85 degrees again. It's been hot the last few days. I've had a few good rains early in the morning, and then the sun pops out, so it's been real good weather for helping the garden grow and for getting things done. Like I said, we're just going to go around, show you a few things, have a little tip or hint or whatever you want to call it here a little bit, and we'll have a special treat from a special young person that's helped me out in the garden today, and we'll have her on here later on as well. So stay tuned, go around with us, and we'll catch you in a bit. Okay guys, we're going to start in this back corner and just make our way around on a little update. Back here we still got our leaf lettuce growing up real well. Been using it sandwiches, using it as greens. Got our carrots and onions here. We've thinned them a little bit. We need to do them a whole lot more though. The carrots they're just doing really well. A little too good for at the moment. Those who've been watching before, you may recognize this where I'm standing. Used to be our mustard greens. They had already bloomed out, already got flowers on them, was getting ready to go to seed, and they were getting covered with the little brown slugs. So all we did was plow them under, and now we've got 3 rows of Missouri Wonder beans here. As they start growing a little bit, we're going to put us a little trellis system up to let them climb. They did real well in this area last year, so we put them back. You see all the greenery laying there on the ground. That's where we did thin the carrots. Just threw it out there, we're going to let it rot and help out with natural fertilization. We just wanted to give you a little close-up shot of this is the bed where we put our Missouri Wonders at, where our mustard used to be. Right here's our leaf lettuce. Good full bed. And here's our carrots and onions. Like I said, it's a little in disarray right now. We got to straighten that up some. Here we've still got another kind of green, so we're not hurting without the mustard too bad. That's our Swiss chard. You see the brighter colored stems, that's the Northern Lights variety of it. There's our cabbage, which is doing really well. In the next week or two, I'm guessing we'll be seeing some heads starting to form on it. We have onions still in between each row. And we have some onions right up here too, along with our kohlrabi. That we also thinned a little bit this morning, but we need to get it again as it grows a little more. Okay, this right here is our tater patch. We got 5 total rows. These 2 rows here were the earliest. That's why they look so much bigger. And these 3 here, they were up more, and just 2 days ago we re-heeled them. They're just now coming back through the heels. So everything's looking good on our taters. Here we got 5 rows of the Honey Select variety of corn. Everything's looking well on it. We put our beans in there earlier today, half runner beans. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a little while. Over here, we've got our tomatoes with marigolds in between. Got our peppers in the 3rd row there, you see. Here we've got cucumbers, or excuse me, we've got squash and zucchini. I can't really remember which plot was what, but they're right here doing well. Here we've got some radishes coming up. Where the sun shines, yeah, I couldn't really tell if that was in frame or not. We put radishes around them because, once again, this is something I've read and been told throughout the years. Radishes put off a scent that will keep away squash vine borers, and that will definitely kill your plants quickly, so we put those out to help with that. Got a few jack-o'-lantern pumpkins planted here. They've just been in the ground about 3 days, so they're not coming up yet. Here we have some Roma tomatoes and cayenne peppers, all doing well. Here against the fence is where we put the Hidatsa shield beans, the heirloom variety from the Hidatsa Indians. that we discussed the other day. They're looking very well, doing excellent. Hopefully they'll grab a hold of the fence here shortly and just take off climbing. We have some more radishes on the back side of our squash and zucchini here, coming up, looking good. Along this section of the fence we have a mixture of gourds out. Some just for decoration, some can be used as containers, bird houses, dippers, whatever we decide to make out of them. Now we're on the other side of the garden. There's our tomatoes, marigolds again. We have 8 beefsteak tomatoes, 8 of a stripy variety. We have 2 tomato plants right here on the end, and then of course the 4 Romas over there by themselves. These peppers right here are the Anaheim peppers. They're a long, slightly spicy, not even considered hot pepper, but they're really good for, well, we'll show you when they come on what we like to do with them. Once again, there's some more of our corn. And here against this section of the fence, for the first time, we've got our cucumbers beside a fence, gonna let them climb. So that's the first time. We've always just put them in heels, and they've done well. But letting them come up off the ground will keep them from rotting as quick, and make them go straighter as well. As we said a minute ago, in between of each corn plant here, we've got our half runner beans. All we did is come through with a hoe, loosen the dirt up in between, drop our beans in there. That has a few good reasons for that. One, as the bean grows, it will pull nitrogen up from the soil, which the corn absolutely loves. It may not benefit as much this year, but next year it will help out a lot. Another, it gives something for the bean to climb on, makes it easier picking. I hate being down like this picking beans for 2 hours. A whole lot easier when they're up high, you can just grab. Like I said, they climb real well on the corn. You don't want to plant them at the same time. If you put them in the ground at the same time, when your corn's about this big, your bean will be about this tall. And as they start climbing, they'll overtake it and smother your corn out. So let your corn get anywhere from 4 to 8 inches tall before you put your beans in, and that way they got a little head start on them. Now I was talking about a special helper I had today. I've already got the beans in the ground, but we're going to show you a little clip of her helping us out, and then we'll get around to the next tent.
Now come on down right here.
Put 2 more in the next hole. On to the next one. Shay is helping me put my beans in my corn.
I'm gonna go back to the house after this.
You are?
Yes.
You want to wave at everybody first and tell them hello?
Who is it?
Wave at them. I'll show it to Mommy. Wave at it.
No.
You don't want to wave at them?
Who?
Mommy. Your Mommy.
Who?
Wave at her.
Who?
Okay then. Just keep planting. You don't have to wave.
Why tell me that? She's here. Come on,
You gonna come to the next one? Or you want me to do it now?
Where's
Right over here where there's no more beans. This next row, you see? Right there?
Oh, well, that's one of the plants. Let's go this way. Who's doing that?
Put 2 of them in there
Why would you put 2?
so they'll grow.
Why can't there just more?
Well, more of them will grow with 2. Put another one in there and go to the next hole.
How many holes left to do?
All of them.
Why?
You don't have to do them all if you don't want to.
How many we put in there?
Just put 1 more in that hole.
I put that many?
No, you
Why?
can't put that many.
Why?
We'll run out.
This might not run out.
Just put 1 more in that hole beside of the other bean.
Wait, not run out that baby. Wait, no. ran out that many.
All we have to do now, since Shay was nice enough to plant them for us, is just come by and cover up our little bean seeds. Don't have to be deep. Just use the dirt that you loosened up while making the hole for them. And in a few days, they'll be sprouted up, and we'll take another look at them. Alright, the next thing we're going to talk about is how we help control weeds in our garden. Now, it won't take care of every weed, but it will take care of everything that you put it on. In between the rows is mainly where I like to put them. We got some loose straw here and a bundle of newspapers. Now, the reason I say this is free, the newspapers come free from my local library. They bundle them up for recycling when they get so many weeks old. Just go down there and they give us all we want. The straw, for me, is not free. I have to bale the straw, but if you have your own, if you cut and bale yourself, there it is. Either way, it's just $4 a bale, something like that. And for a garden the size of mine, you don't need a whole lot. This does a few different things. Number one, the main reason I do it is weed control. Number two, the straw, it breaks down and it just goes into the soil, acts as a natural fertilizer. Also, the newspaper, as it breaks down, earthworms, or as we call them, night crawlers, love to eat on. That brings them in, their castings go into the ground, makes it a richer soil, and plus the newspaper itself, as it breaks down, will make it become richer. So we're going to go through and just show you how we do this. It's no big secret, but a lot of people don't know about it. I hadn't heard of it till last year, but I found out it's very, very helpful in controlling the weeds, and like I said, the other added benefits as well. Alright, we're going to start here in between our tomatoes. Simplest thing ever, guys. Just take a newspaper, start working it out, unfold it. You can go double layer, single layer, however you like. Single layer is pretty much good enough for one season. So that's doesn't matter how you want to do it. Double layer won't hurt a thing. That's what you want to do. Just like to put it in between the rows, in between the plants, what I can. And the thing about this, instead of like plastic that you put down or something, number one, it does go back into the soil and helps out. Number two, it's not a water barrier. Water can get through this newspaper just like it wasn't even there. So anything that you go to add to your plants, whether it just be rainwater or any fertilizer you want to put down or whatever it may be, still gets to it. But you have the benefit of keeping the weeds down. You want to overlap them a little, even if you're doing a single layer, because if you don't, you'll have cracks. And anybody that's done any gardening, had a driveway, whatever, knows the weeds are real good at finding every crack and growing up through it. So if you overlap these, you'll cut down on that. As you go along doing this, one thing you'll find, that every little breeze that blows is going to blow your newspaper all over the place. Now the straw, what we use it for when we get done is to stop that. Thin layer of straw holds it down. But as you're going through, every time you lay a piece down, pick up a little handful of dirt, scatter it on there. And that way you won't get done with the row, turn around, have newspapers all over the yard instead of where you just placed them. Okay guys, we got this one row done, as you can see behind me, all the way down in between our tomato rows here. I want to talk about a couple more things about it. One thing, a lot of people that I've read and stuff that do this don't like using something with color on it because of the inks and dyes. I'm not too worried about that. I don't think it hurts a thing. The one kind that I don't like to use are the inserts that are on the glossy paper. And that's because it doesn't break down as good. So anything that feels like newspaper, even the Sunday comics, it's got the colored ink all over it, but I'll use it anyway. One more benefit that came to mind while I was laying this down, plants are very susceptible to diseases when they stay wet. And when you have splash up, from good hard rains or something, and that gets moisture on the leaves. It'll stay there for a while and can cause mildew problems and things like that, especially on the undersides. But this will help keep that from happening. If you get it close enough to the plants, like some of these are, not all of them, but some of them, then that'll minimize and almost completely annihilate the splash up of the dirt and the mud during a rainstorm. After you get a row done, go back, see if there's any cracks, any gaps. Not necessarily where you've not put things, but where you have laid it that may have blowed over, caused a crack in between your layers. And now we're going to get on to putting the straw down to help hold it down. Okay guys, we got our row down, covered with the newspaper. We're going to get back into the straw to cover that up. Now this looks kind of awful right now, I understand that. The straw will make it look a little better, which I don't care, as long as it works. Keeping weeds down, it can look how it wants to. But it does make it look a little better to the eye. You don't need a whole big huge layer of this now. It don't have to be 4 inches thick or anything. Just shake it out enough to cover it up and put some weight on it. We're going to get right into that. This is what I mean by shaking it. Just spread it apart, shake it on there. Like I said, it doesn't have to be thick. The straw itself will put plenty of weight on it and hold it down. And yeah, you are going to get some seeds off of this straw into your garden. It's inevitable. But the benefits outweigh that, I think. Okay guys, we got one whole row with our newspaper layer down and with our layer of straw on top. Now, like I said, you don't have to have it real deep. That right there is going to hold it down until it rots. If you want to make it real deep and cover up every little visual speck of newspaper, that's fine. It's not going to hurt anything. Water and nutrients will still get through. That's just more straw you're going to have to buy. And you know, the way I do it, 3 bales, I can do my whole garden in. Smaller gardens, 1 bale will get you done, or half a bale, whatever. But I don't care if you can see the newspaper a little. As you can see it coming out the side of the road, but that's because I've not got the road side of it done yet. That'll all be covered up soon too. I was talking about the seeds. Comes from the straw. Majority of it is laying on newspaper, so it's not going to affect you this season. Yes, as it rots, it will go into the ground. But on my garden, as I mentioned before, I have my goats on it all winter long, and I keep straw on there for them anyway, so it's going to get there no matter what. Like I said, I think the benefits far outweigh that risk. I won't have my whole garden done like this, like where my squash and zucchini is. I may just throw a layer of straw down, leave the newspaper out. Just use the straw to act as a little, to help keep moisture in. Natural mulches, there's many different kinds. If you don't want to use this method, a lot of people use pine needles. It works well to hold moisture in. The only thing with those, as it decomposes, it will raise the acid level of your soil, so keep an eye on that. You can buy mulch like you do landscaping with. Anything to keep moisture in and weeds down. But I would recommend, no matter what you use, to put down that layer of newspaper, because nothing's going to grow through it. I've got mulch and flower beds, mulch around my pond. Weeds will go through that like crazy. But if you have that layer of newspaper, weeds will not be able to go through that and get started through your mulch, whatever it is you decide to use. One thing I wanted to bring up before we left, guys, like I said earlier, it's 80, 85 degrees. Been that way for a while. As much fun as gardening is, you're still moving around in the heat, you're still getting hot. This makes about 5 or 6 of these I've drank today. Stay hydrated. We talk about it all the time in the outdoor part, bushcrafting, whatever you want to call it, of keeping your body hydrated. It's just as important here in the garden, mowing the yard, wherever, as it is out in the middle of the woods somewhere. stay hydrated and don't make yourself get sick doing something you enjoy. Other than that, guys, we want to thank you for coming around our garden today. We hope we've said one or two things that might have helped you out or sparked an idea in your own minds. We appreciate everybody watching, all the comments, suggestions. Keep them coming. We're not just here to tell you what we do, we're here to learn too. So, you know, we watch y'all, we read what you put, and we appreciate all the help on that aspect as well. Well, thanks again for watching. Hope that you come back and see us again, and in a few days we'll have another video, and hopefully everything will be growing a whole lot better. But thanks again, y'all have a good one, and God bless.